Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, before we get into today's show, had a productive meeting with the bosses today, but as I was walking out, they kind of threw in this, oh, by the way, you better get 10 news break downloads from today's show or else. And I'm like, what does or else mean? Am I on the hot seat here at the Chiefs Report here at Chat Sports? They said, hey, take that for what you will. Help me out. Help a brother out. I want to keep doing videos for you guys. Go to that link below, chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. On your mobile phone, by the way, search that link in your Safari, Google Chrome, on your phone, whatever web browser you like using. It'll redirect you to the App Store. Download the Newsbreak app, and then I don't care what you do after that. You don't have to use the app if you don't want to. Chatsports.com/ChiefsNB. Download the app today so we can keep doing videos here on the Chiefs Report. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham, back with some more rumors and news, really OTA focused today. And I wanted to talk about quarterback Patrick Mahomes as he has gotten through another session of OTAs, and it sounds like he's basically ready to go for the regular season. He said today when asked that he could play in a game today if needed. Now, he said he's probably not 100%, and he's still rehabbing from that toe surgery he had back in February, but he's been a full go. He's been a full participant during OTAs, and like I've told you guys the past couple of times, we've talked about Patrick Mahomes' toe injury. We're feeling really good about where he's at. He's in a really, really good spot as we sit still about 3 months away from week 1 of the regular season. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are in a good spot. He's ready to go. I'm going to put him at like 90, 92%. If he played tomorrow, I would not have any issues about him playing at a very, very high level. Think about it. It's voluntary OTAs. If there was any doubt that he could get further injury or something could happen to that toe by him being out there, he wouldn't be out there. He doesn't need these reps. He wants the reps, and he's healthy. That is the point of the situation. Now, certainly still some rehab to go through, but he's attacking it with the right attitude, and he is ready to go for the upcoming season, which is a very good sign because he played very, very well last year. He's obviously played very, very well since he's been a member of the Kansas City Chiefs when he took over the starting job back in 2018. And he's gotten better year in and year out, and I think he will have another monster season here in 2021. I actually predict that he will have the best season of his career here in 2021. So great signs when it comes to the toe injury. Do you have any concerns? Let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Are you worried at all about Patrick Mahomes' toe injury? Type Y if you still are. Type N if you're like me and you're just not that concerned. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. If you ask me, I'm not concerned. I haven't been concerned this entire time because what did we hear shortly after the surgery? A, the surgery went great. B, he's ahead of schedule. That's been the case this entire time. Athletes that attack their rehab in an aggressive manner, typically it pays off for him. He's been ahead of schedule the entire time. When they had surgery, they were saying, okay, he'll probably be ready for training camp. We'll see before that. Well, training camp's still well over a month away, and he's basically almost 100%. I mean, he's 90, 95%. At least that's how it sounds, according to him, according to reports coming out of Chiefs OTA. So I just don't have any issues. I trust Mahomes. I trust the Chiefs training staff. I have no reason to doubt anyone in that building when it comes to treating players because this is one of the first-class organizations in the National Football League. He will be ready to rock come training camp and, more importantly, once Week 1 does get here in September. Couple other notes from OTAs. They did have a few guys sit out. Remember, this is still voluntary OTAs. Mandatory minicamp is still a couple of weeks away. Clyde Edwards-Helaire wasn't there today. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif was absent as well. Travarius Ward, Chris Jones, and Frank Clark also did not partake. But again, it's voluntary. These guys have lives. They're probably on vacation, hanging out. No big deal. Once we get into minicamp and, of course, training camp, that's when you need these guys to show up, be in shape, or at least get into shape, and then really start to gear up for the upcoming season. Speaking of which, who's ready for Week 1? I know I am. Type me down in the comment section. If you're ready for this season to get underway, type me down below. For a team like the Chiefs, like, sure, the offseason's still fun, but it's like, man, I'm just ready to watch this team again. Like, this is a Super Bowl contender year in and year out at this point, so I don't need OTAs. I don't need minicamp. Let's get to the regular season. Just over 3 months away. Type me if you're ready for Week 1. Also, subscribe to the channel if you love the Chiefs and if you're ready for week 1, because we'll have coverage once the season starts as well. We are a YouTube channel for the Kansas City Chiefs, 12 months a year, 365 days, just for you guys. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Also, you see the link down below. It's YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. That's our main Chat Sports YouTube channel as well. But subscribe here, subscribe on our main channel. Let's get to 17,000 subs on the Chiefs Report so you don't miss any of our coverage on your Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk a little Chris Jones here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. And coming out of OTAs, Steve Spagnuolo kind of confirmed a rumor that we've been hearing for a couple of months that Chris Jones is going to play more defensive end here in 2021. That rumor circulated after they signed Jarran Reed a couple of months ago in free agency, and now with Spags actually verbalizing it, it's not a rumor at this point. Look for Chris Jones to play quite a bit of defensive end this year. Now, he's still going to play inside some. It's not like he's going to line up in one spot, and that's where he's locked in for the rest of the season or the rest of his career or something like that. But I do like the idea of moving your best defensive lineman around on this defense. And remember, when the Chiefs were in a 3-4 scheme before 2019, when Spags came on board, Chris Jones played defensive end and played very, very well, especially in 2018. This should not be shocking. We kind of knew this was the case, but now that Spags has actually verbalized it and said so, it's actually something we can really start to explore in further detail. You kind of get the brain churning, and you're like, man, how good could this front be with Chris Jones at defensive end? Well, if he plays when he's playing defensive end, a lineup like this is pretty exciting to think about. Him and Frank Clark coming off the edge, Jarran Reed, who's an excellent interior pass rusher at defensive tackle, Tershawn Wharton, who had a great season last year. You can work in Derek Nottie and Kalen Saunders as well at the other defensive tackle spot. I think this foursome right here is your best front, especially in pass rushing situations. So I'm excited about Chris Jones playing more on the outside. I think he will have a big-time season for the Kansas City Chiefs. More on Jones in a minute. Do you like him getting more reps at defensive end? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of this development. I love the addition of Jarran Reed, and I love the versatility that they are going to utilize Chris Jones in moving forward on this defense. So I'm going to type my 1 for yes. I love this. I think Chris Jones is going to have a new breakout year. Obviously, he's broken out already, but I think we will see the all-pro version of Chris Jones come back here in 2021. I think this is a double-digit sack guy this year. I think he's going to be motivated. He got the bag before last year, the COVID offseason, all that stuff. I think playing more defensive end, moving him around, finding weaknesses on opposing offensive lines with Chris Jones is going to be great. And remember, in 2018, when he played defensive end in that 3-4 scheme, this guy was unbelievable. 15.5 sacks, 19 TFLs, couple of forced fumbles. Man, I'm getting real excited thinking about Chris Jones just bullying some scrub right tackles throughout the NFL season. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. He hasn't played defensive end in a 4-3 scheme that much, but we will definitely see more of that as we get on into the season here for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Steve Spagnuolo even confirmed it. He will play defensive end more this upcoming season. So let me know this as I catch my breath here. Over under 10 sacks for Chris Jones. Type O for over, type U for under. Get your votes in on this one. Type O for over 10, U for under 10, Ike over. I think it's going to be a big-time season for Chris Jones here in 2021. I wanted to work this into today's show as well. Sammy Watkins, who obviously spent 3 good seasons with the Chiefs, was certainly injured for quite a bit of it, but as you know, signed with the Ravens this offseason. Now, he spoke recently about his time in Kansas City, and he's actually compared the vibe and the culture of the Ravens to Kansas City. Even went as far as saying that I think this is a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl here this upcoming year. So this will be very, very interesting if this ends up happening for Sammy Watkins and the Baltimore Ravens. We don't have the quote for you today, but I'll just paraphrase it. He basically said that, hey, this is a winning culture, and I think that this team can win a Super Bowl. It reminds me of my time in Kansas City, which is kind of fascinating to think about because, as you guys know, Kansas City has flat out owned Baltimore in recent years. Since Mahomes and Lamar Jackson took over, this has been one-sided territory. The Chiefs have dominated the Ravens in this head-to-head matchup. Now, there's been a couple of good games, close games, but the Chiefs have won them all, and I expect that to continue this year. If Sammy Watkins is healthy for the Ravens, I think that gives Lamar Jackson another weapon on the outside. But there's a mental thing going on with Baltimore that they cannot get over the hump when it comes to Kansas City. And guess what? They play again this year in Week 2. So give me an early prediction. Who wins this matchup this year between the Chiefs and the Ravens? If you think the Chiefs are going to win, they're going to roll again, type KC. If you think the Ravens are going to win, type BAL. Get your votes in on this one, and we will see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.